Okay, so in our second example, we have a large tower between two observation points. The angle of elevation from point A to the top of the tower is 36 degrees, and the distance is 450 meters. The angle of elevation from point B to the top of the tower is 150 degrees. So we need to do two things. The first thing, we're going to draw a diagram. Then we're going to find how far away the two observation points are from each other. So let's get back to the paper. I have here an observation tower. And on either sides of the observation tower, we have a point. So point A and point B. Now we know that this creates a triangle because it's told us that we have an object in the middle of two observation points and it reaches up to the top of the tower. So we find the information that was given in the question. We have 450 meters here, and the angle of elevation is 38 degrees. On the other side, we have an observation, the observation point to the top of the tower is 52 degrees. Now, we are looking to find the distance in between the 2 points. So this is what I'm looking for. Now, let's consider, what are we going to use? First of all, I know that this triangle is not a right angle triangle, so that rules out all my trig ratios. Secondly, I'm going to ask my questions about whether this is sine or cosine law. So the first question to ask, is there a complete side angle pair? And it so happens that there is. We've got 450 and 42 degrees. That's a point with an angle and a side. I'm looking not for little a here, but I would say I'm looking for side C. So let's rewrite the question. Since I'm looking for little c and I have one complete pair, I know that I'm going to use the sine law. So we have b over sine b is equal to c over sine c. Now let's sort out the information that I have. I know that I have little b of 450. I have capital B of 52. I have little c, which is unknown, and capital C, which is also unknown. But I'm able to find what capital C is because I know that a triangle always adds up to 180 degrees. So I can say if I took 180 and subtracted the two given angles, I'm going to find my angle here. Let's do 180 minus 38 minus 52, and that gives us 90 degrees. Oh, this one just so happens to be a 90-degree angle. But we didn't know that before, so we were not able to use right angle triangle. Now that we know it is a 90 degree, we've got two options. We can continue to proceed using the sine law, or I could use a ratio. Okay, so I'll put a little note here. Since it is 90 degrees, we can also use trig ratios. So let's do our first method, and then we'll use our second. So substituting our values in, I have 450 over sine 52, and that's equal to little c over sine 90. Let's rearrange this by cross multiplying. I have 450 times sine 90, all divided by sine 52, and that's equal to c. Okay, 450 times sine 90 divided by sine 52. That gives us 571.1 meters. Now let's do this again using a trig ratio. Now this question is unique because it does give us a 90-degree angle. It's not often that you get a question like this. So let's do it both ways because we could have saved time and not used sine law. So in a nutshell, I've got, this is my 90-degree angle, 450, and I need to know what this side is. I also have 38 degrees there. Now, even though I have two sides, or two angles, I only need to have one of them because trig ratios only involve one angle and two sides. So let's label our sides. This is the hypotenuse, and this one is our adjacent because it's the side in between the 90-degree and the given angle. So adjacent and hypotenuse, we would use cosine. Cosine of an angle is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So we have cosine 38 degrees is equal to 450 over our hypotenuse. I'll use C again. Let's cross multiply. So I have C times cosine 38 is equal to 450. C is equal to 450 over cosine 38. Let's throw this into our calculators. 450 divided by cosine 38, we have again 571.1. So our two answers are the same, and we came to it using two different methods.